Hi, welcome to another episode of One Burning Question. I'm Katy, and I'm here wishing you a warm final week of classes and answering another question from our faculty and staff at AU. Today, I'm answering a question about Microsoft. And as you know, the transition to Microsoft has had its fair share of challenges. One of those complications is that Microsoft has two different applications that are used for file storage and sharing, SharePoint and OneDrive. So the question is, when does one share files in SharePoint and when does one share them in OneDrive instead? That's what we're here to find out. Okay, so I want to show you how this works. Here I am in my files on OneDrive, and OneDrive, like I said, is an individual area for file storage. So for that reason, it's ideal for sharing simple projects with close colleagues. So for instance, if I want to share a recently drafted piece of writing, like this character sketch, with my friend Jolene, OneDrive is a great way to do it. As always, I would just type in her name, and then I could share using an email or, of course, with a link, as always. Now, when I share on OneDrive, I'm the only person who can share or grant access to my files. The files are still uniquely mine. I am the owner, and even though Jolene can view my file, if my AU account disappears, so does that piece of writing within the month. So, again, this is really nice for small-scale collaboration. I can permit Jolene to edit my document, I can permit her to offer suggestions, but I still ultimately maintain control over the piece. Additionally, if you want to share a file with the public at large, to view, comment, or edit something, not just individuals, but the public in general, you should generate a link for that using OneDrive. And the reason is SharePoint files, as we'll get to, are shareable, but in order for somebody specific to edit or view the file, you need to specifically grant them access by email. So you can see that doesn't work for the public at large. I wanted to make sure to add that note. Thanks, James Hayes, for the reminder. SharePoint, on the other hand, is specifically designed for group collaboration. Those who have access to the SharePoint files can edit them, they can share them, they can leave comments on them, even simultaneously. For example, I might share a practice exercise with my students to complete together. So to share a file with them, I would navigate to the SharePoint site associated with our group. And this nomenclature is a little confusing, but the groups are associated with your teams. So really, this is your team, essentially, within SharePoint. So anyway, I'll click into that selected area for my composition class, and I'm automatically placed on my team's landing page. To share the file, we'll navigate to Documents. You'll see you have this area to share documents with your team. I place them all in this automatic general folder you get, and then there's a little bit of a breakdown here. Students in my class can open these documents, edit them, and have equal ownership of the results. And they can easily access these files because they're so handily found within their team. If, say, a student was having trouble locating the practice exercise, of course, we still have the option to, send along the piece either using a link or an email. So that's good to know with students. That's really all I have to say about SharePoint and OneDrive. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of One Burning Question. I'll see you around campus.